All right, we are talking about Tiamat. First off, this is going to be Grand Support Archer, hands down. There is no other Archer that can give support like Tiamat. And not only that, we might have a supportive MP, but she also can function like Van Gogh. Um, yeah, it is. It can get like really, really disgusting. Like what kind of farming you actually can get away with her, like AOE in the middle and then two Tiamats, and then you're basically just crit everything to death. Like the only way you lose is if you it's if you get bricked and literally have a full hand of one character's cards. That is, and even then, that's also like the next wave can't be more than one enemy. But yeah, this character is fucking disgusting for how good she is. First off, 12.0 attack. 12k attack. I checked this a while ago. She has the highest attack of like a mostly supportive servant, like period. More attack than Castoria, Lady Avalon, more attack than Oberon, who's all like people use him for farming, not more lotto shit than anything else. More attack than Koyanskaya. Like even the one and Ruler Scotty, like even the supports that have damaging MPs, she has more base attack than them. So like when I saw him, like, oh wait, she's actually supposed to be like a self buffing DPS of the lines of Super Ryan and Van Gogh. So that is something to note. She is not tickling people. Like it is part of the reason you see like people doing like massive crit and like why the the buffs she gives are so disgusting for her specifically. HP 3.8k. This is lower, but she is so tanky. If your opponent does not have Invo Pierce, she's not dying if she can loop her MP and she's by herself. She like is like Kishi, like she is literally the answer to the problem I have with Kishi Wong, and that even though he has everything he wants to like be able to do Tiamat's gameplay, him Kishi Wong by himself does not gen enough stars to loop his MP like that. He truly doesn't. If your enemy is not attacking you and has low hits on their attacks, it is so hard for that guy to get back to his MP. Literally because his arts cards don't crit. So he gets a bunch of crit buffs and attack buffs, but he rarely ever gets to crit and be able to loop his MP successfully to not take damage. Tiamat can do that so fucking easily. It's like MPQA, all of it crit, you're probably getting your MP back. Starweight Sergeant, normal Archer numbers. MP charge 0.59%. This is honestly fine. Yeah. A little low on the arts, but she ramps up to arts to a stupid degree, especially the higher copy you have. So I'm not even worried about this. Most of the time, you're going to have at the very least, 50% card buff for Quicken Arts with Tiamat. At the very least, or 30, sorry. At the very least, 30 at all times. And that goes all the way up to, I think, 90, 110 if you're being like you're super consistent about popping Tiamat MPs. And again, this is also solo. I'm not talking double Tiamat. Yeah, most of the time she's at least gonna have 30, 60, if not more. So refunding back to her MP is not an issue at all. I as long as she has the stars to crit, she is going to loop her MP. And even if like it takes a turn to get the engine like moving, by that third turn, you have so much card buff that you're just gonna like every MP pop your MP pop is gonna happen every single turn. Yeah, hit crowns across the board, good. Here we are at traits for which ones do you get Bond C for. Animal characteristics is the one that stands out immediately. because it's the first one. Uh, okay, so they didn't give her a lot of CEs to work with, but they gave her like a lot of. What she does have are traits that are have specific buffers. Yeah, like demonic beast servant, divinity, dragon. Like there are people that buff these specifically. But they're not really the ones you're probably going to be using her that often. The dragon one though with John Alter, I can definitely see that if it's multicore and Jolter is just there to nuke like one enemy, and then like Tiamat and Jolter can like just start carding, because even though she's buffing arts and quick, you can still use her with other characters as long as her overcharge gets like really high. Yeah, and also her overcharge scaling is so fucking weird, and like I'm not gonna disagree with it though. All right, so first skill, 20% arts, 20% quick for the party. Gotta like preface that this is a party wide buff, not a self buff. When I first saw this, I'm like, oh no, don't tell me you're doing her dirty. I was not happy when I saw this. And then I read the rest of the line. It's like, wait. So buff removal resistance, again, another character that had it. And overcharge 2-stage 1 time on the first skill. So even as an like outside of everything, even like you technically could just use her as an esports unit if you want, for because it's not great, but it's not bad. Like honestly, it's because all 4 of these effects at once, Tiamat as an esports unit is actually like, she's usable. Like if you don't need like obviously you would want to be popping Tiamat's MP. However, Tiamat at higher levels can't do esports because of one of the effects of her MP. She does not work for esports if you're trying to pop her MP. But there aren't many servants that have buff removal resistance literally on the first skill. I would honestly be shocked if another servant had this as like the first skill. So if this is, and I'm talking like giga whales trying to make an esport Tiamat, this is not for the normal person. But I'm saying she has at least some kind of viability there. I wouldn't do it unless I had an MP5 Tiamat. But Tiamat is Tiamat. I'm sure she has her fans that probably would do that. But yeah, this overcharge is actually super important to Tiamat's gameplay on her own, like outside of just supporting the party. Second skill, 50% battery for herself, 30% for everyone else in the party, 20% attack for the party, and a 2k heal. Just slapping a bunch of shit together, and it works. This is again another good multi-core skill. Like Tiamat, I said she's a good self-buffing DPS, multi-core DPS, crit DPS. There's so many roles this character gets. But unlike Madam President, it's a lot harder to fuck up farming with Tiamat than it is with you, Olga. Like there's a lot less inconsistencies that go into it. So if you, Olga, is feeling a little too much for you, because like you Olga is not someone you just slap into a team. You literally have to build your team around you, Olga, for how she works. So yeah, this is a less complicated multi-core DPS, but she has very similar things to like you, Olga, of when she's in Third Ascension. Third skill. So when you have double Tiamat, this skill is so fucking stupid. Like, because double Tiamat is something you probably are gonna see, especially when it comes to Grand Archer. I'm just gonna read this out and double everything. 16 stars per turn per person in your party, so 48 stars per turn. 100% crit damage for the entire party. 20% gauge per turn for the entire party. Gotta preface that too. Just one of these by itself is a pretty decent skill. But it's just like Koi and Skya. When you get two of these together, they're like, you don't have to worry about star gen. You have all the star gen. If you're not like, Tiamat only has one buster card. So if there's two of them, more likely than not, you're dealing with 3 cards that are gonna gen MP. And stars if they're quick. Like, other characters have skills like this. Himiko has a crit star generation buff that she gives to the party. Jineko has it too. Neither one of them have it set up that it's this destructive, if you have actually 2 of them. Just based on personal experience for how farming works, CQs work, this is literally you do nothing and you win. As long as Tiamat can do damage, you're gonna get progress. Again, even just one of these, it just means you have to put in a little more effort to be able to crit and refund Tiamat's MP. You only have to do slightly more effort. Because again, 24 stars per turn, when you're already using a quick DPS, you should not be having problems critting. Unless you're doing like MP arts, in which case, yeah, you're probably not genning too many stars from those arts cards. You will have some stars though, because quick lead and extra attack, like your arts cards will do some kind of refund, but these are not like 5-hit arts, they're only 3. So even with like a quick lead, these aren't going to be genning like as much as your quick cards, obviously. But yeah, like her kit is so it's like basic effects that it's like these two are the newest effects that exist. Buff removal resistance and overcharge. Every other part of the skill has been around in the game for years. Like, again, and like the Stars Return, that was Himiko. Himiko was like year 5 or 6. I think it was 5. So they didn't break the bank with Tiamat. They didn't do anything crazy. They just took basic shit and made it like really coherent. Passive skills, 20% debuff res, 10% crit damage. Goddess Essence EX, so we have the 50% res combo. And we're actually going to get into that later because, Tiamat's debuff resistance is ridiculous. Is absolutely ridiculous, and she probably could do Kurnos, like, really, really well, because I don't even think he could land anything on her. Self-mod Summer, damage cut, and crit resistance. This helps her out even more. She's already tanky, and she gets damage cut too, and harder to crit. Like, truly, imagine Kishi Wong functioning correctly, and you have Tiamat. Like, that man, his ruler class makes him, like, them not want to make him stronger. But Tiamat is, like, okay, so, like, Tiamat's release. Okay, Van Gogh getting a buff. Okay, that makes sense. Super Orion, I think, needs a buff to his first skill to give him more consistent damage. I'm not saying, like, buff his MP, make his skill better, so if he gets bricked in carding, you, the player, are not fucked. Like Super Ryan honestly is one of those characters he could get away with getting his mana burst made into 3 turns, like Arthur and King Hassan. All right, moving on. Pend. After using her, you need this for double. You have to have the mana loading for double unless your main DPS also has AoE charge. If so, extra attack probably would be better than mana loading. If you could only pick one. I'm gonna be taking Tiamat to like Bond 11 to unlock like all 3 of these. So that's just gonna take time. That's why I like MP2 for a lot of characters, because it makes like me not having to pick a pens easier. I can farm and grind to get more pens. Just like it did with Charlie, because now he's Bond 15. Gonna get 120 with 3 pens. All right. MP. Invo for a turn. Card buff. Oh, sorry. Card buffs that scale based on MP copies. Debuff res up. And all 3 of these effects last for 3 turns. And here's the kicker. The overcharge. 50% base, 150% at OC5. Do you want to know how easy it is to hit OC5 with double Tiamat? You just do it. You just do it with double Tiamat. So with double Tiamat, you hit 400% crit damage without even fucking trying. Like, truly think about that for a second. The level of crit damage we're talking is the level Oberon boosts MP damage half the time if you're using Black Rail. Sorry, no. Actually, I take that back. It is so fucking hard to actually hit 200% MP damage to get doubled by Oberon. What the fuck am I thinking? Yeah, no, because you would need like another 90% base MP damage to actually match that. Yeah, no, this is such a big it's just an ease of use thing. You don't have to try to get this. And again, this debuff res, the base is 50. First MP pop on for MP1, you have 100% debuff res. And if your support list, you have an MP5 Tiamat, that's 100%, along with the higher card buffs. Like, you as a player want people on your friends list to have MP5 Tiamat as much as possible. Just like you'd want an MP5 Castoria. Yeah, no, actually, I think Castoria is the only comparison for like why you would want the higher MP copies. For the mainline supports, like Scotty maybe, but it's so hard to actually get Scotty's MP. Castoria, the higher copies she is, the better your farming is. The same goes for Tiamat. Is MP1 enough? Yes. I think Tiamat at MP1 is fine. Like, you don't have to try to get higher copies if you don't want it. If you are just looking for a supportive archer, MP1 will do you fine. Higher copies don't matter that much, besides giving like more potential for you to get higher overcharge, because you can't naturally after the first Tiamat MP, your second pop you're not hitting 150, you're gonna be hitting 50. And you'll need other characters overcharge to try to boost it up to like 50 and 75, but this is such an absurd amount of crit damage. You actually aren't even going to be able to use some of it because you hit the cap. I think you would be hitting the crit cap so easily, you should not even be trying. Like, with double, you really shouldn't be trying to, like, pop every single turn unless you can kind of get away with it. Because also have to think that this is party wide. It's not just Tiamat. So if your main DPS has also a lot of crit buffs, you don't have to worry about Tiamat popping her MP again. You probably would already hit the cap at that point. Yeah, moving on. I had to take these out of the pure prism shop. This is id. This is id. Yeah, I did not farm this enough. Where did mine go? BB Dubai. Wait, why the fuck don't I have? Why didn't I have more of this? Because, oh, excuse me. Oh no, what? No, I'm misremembering this. Yeah, no, I think I'm misremembering this. On my main account, I did not have an issue leveling her. It's my alt, because on my alt, I have pretty much every single character on here, except these two. So yeah, no, I misremembered the accounts. Yeah, it happens when you have multiple accounts on JP. I actually can't fucking remember which one I'm talking about sometimes. Bond CE. Now, this effect, not that great. I'll be honest, for a support. But you can't deny that this does... There are a lot of times that this is all you actually need to fix your loop. So party-wide, 8% for arts and quick, and then 3 gauge per turn while she's on the field. That 3 gauge per turn only really helps if you're a quick servant, because charge per turn matters way, way, way more on a quick servant than it does arts, because quick, you're planning that you're not looping 100%. Arts, you do plan you're getting 100%. Oh, sick. A lot of this got translated, so I'm going to probably be reading that stuff on stream today. Yeah. So, just showing the other ascensions. Oof. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful artwork. And last commentary, I think it's fucking hilarious that she is literally speedrunning a dating sim, and just, like, the joke is that you are, you are raising the hope of your enemy while you just spend your time with your master. It's like, okay, so I was like, again, this is like, I've been playing Sugime, and like I did a similar statement for Arc and how she's like the jealous best friend. It's like Tiamat is someone with a girlfriend, and she's just talking to a random other student at school while that student is trying to smash. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not even humoring you. All I care about is master. But I didn't read this event. I have not even read what her actual personality is. So that is something I do today. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Is what it is. All right. Hope you guys have a good day. I am ready to actually stream all day, unlike yesterday. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.